Hello, this is Enterprise Automation for SAP S/4HANA. My name is John Liu, and today we'll find out how you can automate your financial and procurement processes to improve your business operations. Today, I am joined by SAP Signavio Product Manager, Huang Vu, and SAP Enterprise Automation and Business Development Expert, Balto Jacques-Baeva. Thank you both for joining us today. Huang, procurement professionals are no strangers to challenges when dealing with purchase requisitions. What's a common issue that they face?
The procurement process of our customers can have multiple issues in all different aspects during ordering, shipment, or payment. In our customer example, this was no different. They experienced delays in their overall procure-to-pay process due to purchase requisitions missing a respective material. Unfortunately, they had no means to investigate this process issue, nor the ability to act on it to improve the overall process.
That seems frustrating. So how would companies approach a situation like this in order to, let's say, avoid delays and interruptions?
There are two important aspects that need to be examined to tackle such issues. Firstly, the customer needs to have a clear understanding of their processes, how they look like, how they perform, and whether there are any process deviations and bottlenecks in their daily business. In our scenario, the customer needed the ability to analyze purchase requisitions created without a material to understand that this was a major reason why the procurement process had delays and was not performing well. Additionally, the customer identified that the information relating the buyer of the material needed to be manually reviewed and corrected, leading to repetitive work to fix these purchase requisition items for the procurement team. Secondly, once this insight was derived, our customer needed the ability to start an improvement initiative for these identified purchase requisitions to correct them in the respective SAP S/4HANA system. This needs to happen data-driven, therefore a seamless and native integration between identifying a process bottleneck to automating a process needs to be established.
Right. I can really see how tools like SAP Signavio can help identify issues like this. And what's nice about it is that it gives you recommendations for the next steps. So Balta, once SAP Signavio identifies the process problem, how will one respond using SAP Build Process Automation?
Well, once the customer identified that assigning a buyer manually led to overall delays in the process, next step was to react to this finding and automate the process of assigning a buyer using SAP Build Process Automation. In our process, we utilize the custom AI service that recommends the correct buyer based on historical data, and once the correct buyer is determined, an RPA bot automatically assigns it to the specified PR line items in S/4HANA.
And how would this compare if this was done manually versus using automation?
Well, first, by automating this process, we can save time. It takes around 1 minute to complete the automated process, whereas the manual process can take up to 3 days. This is because the procurement department needs to manually check every PR line item where material code is missing and assign a buyer based on the description. And now let's imagine that there are thousands of line items with missing material code, and procurement department needs to be able to assign the buyer to all of them. This is quite a tedious task. And automation in combination with AI helps to reduce manual effort without overcomplicating the process to the end user.
That's a big difference, and it would definitely be quite a task. So we discussed the scenario in detail, but can you show us what this looks like?
So we start with the process analysis in SAP Signavio Process Intelligence. I can see my whole procurement process with using the process discovery widget and analyze the whole path. I can extend the path by clicking this button here to show additional variances in the process and show the whole spaghetti diagram. And on the right side, I'd see all cases that have run through the process, including their cycle time of the overall process. Specifically for the non-code material, I create a separate tab here at the bottom side to analyze this issue further. And here we can see that the percentage of non-code material was above 58%, and this needed a cycle time of 15.5 days, while the cycle time for coded material only needed 11 days, so a difference of 4 days. Based on this insight, I now want to create an action to fix this issue. I therefore navigate to the Actions tab here on the left side, and I create a new action. I select my process, respective view, and I insert the fields that I want to send over to the automation. Here I can preview all the respective information, and I then select SAP Build Pros Automation as the task where I want to send this information towards. I select the trigger, and now I need to do the data mapping, so I select the respective fields from the inside and map it to the workflow input parameters that the workflow requires. And once I'm happy with my data mapping, I click on Create. And then this new action will run whenever a new purchase requisition item has been created without material.
Now let's see what happens next. We are looking at the process in SAP Build Process Automation. We can see that the process is triggered by Signavio. Next, we check the input information and call the AI service to determine the correct buyer. And once this is done, our next step is to assign the buyer automatically in an SAP S/4HANA system. And here we do it with RPA automation. Let's see this automation in action. Let's imagine a new purchase requisition with non-coded material created in the system. Signavio triggered the workflow, and once the AI algorithm was able to identify the correct buyer, RPA bot starts to run. It opens SAP S/4HANA, goes to change purchase requisition transaction, opens requisition, and changes purchasing group to the one provided by the algorithm. And on the final step, the responsible person from the procurement department receives a confirmation email saying changes were made in SAP S/4HANA.
Thank you for sharing your expertise, Boto and Huang, and for shedding some light on how automation tools like SAP Signavio and SAP Build can truly help with common business challenges like populating missing material codes, for example. Do you want to learn more on how you can automate your business processes? Then check out sap.com/enterprise-automation. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.